Hello all and welcome to the Crafty Mini. So in this one I'm going to be looking at one of my favourite evil characters from a computer game back in the old days of 1996, and that is Diablo 1 and the Butcher, which for those of you who've played it, this was pretty much the first boss you ever came across. Absolutely terrifying. So we're going to go into that, look at why it's such an iconic character, and then I've managed to get this miniature and we're going to paint it. So a couple of things first. Right, so in this miniature, so I got him from RumandResinPrinting on Etsy, and it is the Butcher from Diablo. Got the big cleaver, got some dismembered bits, absolutely grotesque, big bulky mass of just pure hatred. Right, and in the background then, so while I'm painting this miniature, I'm using various techniques and things I've done in other videos, so I won't go too much into that on this one. This is more about just why I love this character so much, and when I found this miniature I was like, it's a must buy, I have to paint this. Right, so going from there, the actual Butcher himself. So as a kid, 1996, well, at this point I'm old, I've just turned about, I think, 11, so I'm playing Diablo 1 for the first time. And yeah, it's this really gritty, dark, gothic horror. The atmosphere and the music and everything in that game is phenomenal. I would recommend anyone who wants to go and try it, please do. You will not be disappointed. I know we've got the newer Diablos now, but there is a certain charm about that first one. And it was genuinely an experience like no other. When you first play and you're going through the town, you're meeting some of the townsfolk and things, and there's this wounded soldier at the front of the cathedral, which is where you're going to go for your first mission. First sort of quest, and then you're hearing about this creature called the Butcher, and you hear that this thing has basically destroyed the king's troops that went down following the archbishop to try and find the king's son. And as you work your way through the first few levels of the dungeon, various monsters and things, again really nice gothic tone and an atmosphere. And then there's this room, and I'll put some images up, and it's just filled with bodies, skewered, the whole room, the floor's covered in blood. And the first time you see that, especially as a kid playing this game, it was like, what is going on? Like, and there's just this one lonesome door. You open it, and straight away you get hit with this chilling voice that at the time absolutely terrified me as a kid, and it's the fresh meat. Then the Butcher comes pacing out of the door, absolutely relentless. The whole pursuit, the whole game, and the way it works with the mechanics, it was obviously a bit clanky for its time compared to modern day games, but he'd hit and stun like he'd just wipe your health off, and you're there trying to fight him, just constantly drinking potions. And it was it was just something like I'd never experienced before at that time in sort of gaming and things. And while you're running around and trying to defeat this first sort of major boss in the game, you're absolutely on the edge of your seat. Every time you run away, every corner you turn, he's right behind you, and you've got to beat him in combat. It's absolutely adrenaline pumping. It's one of my first true sort of gaming memories and experiences that really took hold, and it was, again, going into that sort of aesthetic that I like, the grim dark, that gothic horror. This is all part of that, and this is where those sort of aesthetics really started to take hold for myself. When you finally beat him, and bear in mind he's been hitting you with this one-handed cleaver, and you finally beat him and you pick up his weapon, and for your character it's a two-handed axe. Again, it added to that sort of how big and how monstrous this creature was, and that fresh meat is, I'm sure for other Diablo players who've played the original, if you say fresh meat, they know exactly who you're talking about. It's absolutely etched in our minds now. Looking back, Butcher's one of the reasons Diablo 1 left such a lasting impression. It's embodied the game's sort of dark and visceral atmosphere, and it makes your first playthrough on that game an absolutely unforgettable experience. As I say, I strongly recommend it to everyone. Go out there and give it a try, because it is something special. Right, so on to the painting itself. So this miniature, so 3D print. I got it from Etsy, and absolute joy. Lovely detail, lots and lots of quality, really good print, and it's all the little extra things. So the folds of the flesh, the big belly that's distended, and parts hanging over his belt and his loincloth. He's got the twisted sort of goat legs. Then you've got things like there's these little pustules all over the body where clearly his skin's breaking out with some sort of disease. He's got some wounds that have just been really crudely stapled shut as opposed to sewing. And on the miniature itself, you'll see he's got this horrific sort of menacing grin that it's absolutely vile, but a really good, really cool miniature to paint. I recommend people going out and having a look for it if you can get it, or if you can get the STL files and print it yourself, by all means. On this video now, you'll see I'm doing various layers. I end up going for a more of a paler skin tone for the belly, making it sort of punch a little bit more and giving a nice contrast to the red skin. Also, the rust paints, putting these on really thick over some texture paint on the cleaver itself has left a really nice effect and making everything mucky and disgusting. Yeah, absolute joy to paint. I've really loved painting this miniature. Again, it's the grotesque, it's the horror aspect of it as well, which I also enjoy, but no, really fun. And playing around with like the gloss varnishes on the blood that's dripping down his belly from his mouth and things, it just adds that more character to it. But that's a little rant and sort of memory bury over. So we're going to continue on with the video now. Enjoy. As I say, it's techniques and things, it's what I've used before in other videos, so go and check them out to get where I go more in depth to like layering and feathering on and wet blending and things. But as I'm going through, it's just the idea is like with all my miniatures, especially when it comes to a skin tone like this, which is the predominant colour on the actual miniature, building up very thin layers and just keep adding and keep adding. Adding extra washes to tone them down, then going back up again, and it's surprising how the more you stick with it, the more comes through in the actual paint job itself. But I'll leave you now for the rest of the video. Put some nice music on, enjoy. Again, I always recommend to people, if you're getting into miniature painting or if you've been in it for a while and you want to push yourself, try a bigger miniature. Honestly, it does work. A bust or like the larger miniatures like this, give it a go, because you'll be surprised. You can push yourself further, you can try different things, because in terms of like there's nowhere to hide on the miniature because it's so big. I find anyway, you tend to concentrate a bit more on it and you'll put more effort into it. But yeah, absolute joy to paint. So I'll leave you with the video. Thank you very much, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and all that. And if you've got any cool computer game characters that you think would look good as a miniature, let me know in the comments, because I'm looking out for stuff. I've got one at the moment on the way. He looks very reminiscent of Pyramid Head, which is another computer game character that I absolutely love. So that'll be coming for an upcoming video. But yeah, let me know if there's anything you'd like to see, and I'll see if I can get a miniature that's as close to war as an actual copy from it, then I'll do it. And also, just before I forget, a bit of channel update. So we had the live stream, a lot of people commented, which was lovely, thank you. Cheers for your support. I'm going to be doing some more in the future. I'm just working around the sort of technical aspects of it, because that one was a pre-recorded video in full, which I uploaded and then spoke to people on, but I want to do like a proper live stream, so I'm just in the process of getting the camera equipment sorted, so I'll paint in real time. Everyone who commented on that video and the community post regarding it have all been entered into the prize draw. I'll be revealing those in an upcoming video. When we hit 500 subscribers, there will be that's when I'll start releasing all the winners' details and what it is they've won. So to be in with a chance of winning, all you've got to do is on any community post is leave a comment and you get an entry into the prize draw. When we hit 500 subscribers, that's when I'll release exactly what the potential prizes are, So at the moment, just as a little sort of sneak peek, there's a bunch of miniatures that or busts that I've painted. There's some other stuff where I've got some lovely prints that I want other people to paint, so they could be potential prizes, and there'll be and some other things as well. But more on that when we get to 500 subscribers. So thank you everyone for all your support. Really, really appreciate it. I can't believe how far this has gone in just over a year. But yeah, just leave a comment in any of the community posts, and you'll be entered into the prize draw, and we'll reveal all those when we hit 500. But thank you very much for listening and indulging me on this this little sort of look back onto one of my favourite games and characters. Hope you enjoy the finished result of the painting, and yeah, we'll see you then. Cheers.